Well, I'm glad that somebody got the memo that Memento is still a real deck. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. Now, there is a lot of yummy in this event, and there's a lot of different versions of yummy. Well, first of all, kudos to the one guy that took pure yummy to this event and actually did manage to make top 8, because I do think that's a pretty impressive feat nonetheless. And then we also had the Azamina yummy list. Azamina yummy, I think, has been more of a standardized approach into the normal meta. We've been seeing a decent amount of that. And then the pile, the Sky Striker, Radiant Typhoon, Fiendsmith, Mitsurugi yummy. That challenger has been doing pretty decently well within the meta. You know, when you can slosh together how many different meta decks into one deck in the blender and actually have it give you consistent results, I mean, like, I'm truly not surprised to see that doing well. Now, the surprise out of this event was not one, but two Memento players figuring out, oh, hey, you know, like, this deck is still viable, you know, we can still do things with this. There is hope and a dream for this. And the fact that Memento really was the shakeup for this, I think is very, very refreshing. I mean, one managed to make it all the way into top 4, which is very, very, very refreshing. Now, we do have Radiant Typhoon actually doing decently well here. Typhoon still remains one of the better rogue decks / meta challengers, in my opinion. It's still, I don't even know why I called it rogue. It's one of the better challengers in the meta. We also have Vanquish Soul Canine. Surprise, surprise. And we also had a Sky Striker variant. Now, we don't have the Sky Striker list. I really wish we had Grayson's list down here, but it just doesn't exist. So, but overall, I mean, you've got a wide range of things happening within this meta, which I do think is decently well. Now, next up here, we have David's first place Yummy Azamina list. Now, you get some pretty cool tech choices here. One of which is the non-fusion area down here in the side deck. We've seen non-fusion area kind of picking up a little bit of a steam, or at least enough to have the discussion on this card actually being something worth playing. And I mean, hey, neither player can fusion summon. They can still, depending on the wording of the card, they can still cheat out fusion monsters as long as the card doesn't say this counts as a fusion summon. Because, you guessed it, this card is not omnipotent like the other previous versions. We also got Denko Rekka coming in down here. This little pain in the ass is definitely something that, you know, if you're playing back row decks, you fear this card. You know, if this card actually does come out and actually does wreck your day, it's not really going to be much that you're going to be able to do about it. But you are going to see the reason why you're choosing to play the Azamina stuff here is because the Dia Bellstar package does have some cards that you can kind of fuel off into. But the job of this is just to be able to set up, you know, 1, 2 on the Omni Negate side of things, and you want to be able to kind of cruise control that to victory. That's usually what ends up happening in these sorts of decks right now. It just really helps you out. Also, you know, the Moolah Sirlago actually helps up the consistency of your deck. I do see we're also playing 2 Solemn Warnings in the side deck. There's no point in playing Judgment, but Warning, being able to power blast through annoying cards that your opponent might be setting up, I think is very much worth it right now. So we do see a pretty decent shape up in the meta with different ways of things going about it. And I think that's kind of nice, actually. Having the different levels of help within the meta actually is pretty decent for once. Next up, we have Tavion's pile. Why are you here? Why is there a Reshef the Dark being in this list? Are we just playing this as a ha-ha funny, as a point to be able to ritual off with? Because, like, this could have been anything else. Once returning, you can discard a spell card from hand, take control of a monster your opponent controls. This should have been a Futsu, I feel like, but oh no, we're using it as an Ashelon U1000 bridge. Oh, that's funny AF, because it is... Oh, man. Well, I guess this does give me a reason to want to have a Reshef of the Dark Being because, I guess you can use this as a bridge point to off of the Ashland. That's hilarious. Well, you guys saw it in real time. This is the reason why you care about Reshef the Dark Being. You're never going to ritual summon this thing just because Ashlon U needs to be able to bridge and go. Still side decking the Obedience School. This has been a little bit more of a normal thing I feel like we've been seeing. Not like a bad way, but it's been doing a lot of decent work within the space for everybody. So outside of that, this list I think looks fine in terms of the meta. Camellia really showcasing how broken it is as a attack option for these lists. Next up is John's version of Memento. Now, I do see we are playing the Psychic Axon Kicker Oracle. Now, this is a Psychic monster plus a Synchro Exceed or a Link monster. Now, I do believe Spellcaster, do we have an in-house Psychic monster we actually care about? I don't actually think this deck it doesn't have access to a Psychic in the main deck, but you do have Cyverse, Cherubini, Spellcaster. Well, I mean, this is a cute little thing to, I guess, showcase Illusion Thunder as like a super poly target against Vanquish Soul. Because you see the minute that the Holy Suit comes down, you just vacuum it up. And you're just like, ha ha ha, what are you going to do about it? We've seen this. This was originally the card that we were supposed to use to control the original Vanquish Soul matchup. So to kind of see that, we're seeing that shift back with this card is not too bad. But overall, looking at the structure of this list, I think this does look very, very sound, especially when, you've got a list that makes sense like Memento. And I mean, like, this deck is very player oriented. It stinks to say that because, having to overcome all of the craziness of the meta to come out on top is just incredibly broken. Next up here, we have Aaron's Radiant Typhoon list. Now, a lot of these Radiant Typhoon lists, I mean, you don't get a lot of incredibly broken leeway. I see we are playing the Shield Bearer, which is good. No Pot of Extrav in this list to kind of get the free chicken nuggies, but that's fine. We don't actually have to go down that path. Going with the 2 Twin Deities, 1 Megalahol in the main, 1 in the side deck. I think this has become the absolute norm at this point for this. They've also got the triple Illusion Gate. I too love being able to call up Illusion Gate to break apart things from the opponent's field, because I think truly this card has been one of the biggest defining points of the modern block. Just because, I can slap this on the field, Regeki, Monster Reborn, you've not seen a lot of Ghost Spell present in these lists. So, if I know I'm probably not going to get Ghost Spell, that means I get the free Destruction, and it's just going to set my field up to end the game. We're also playing Enter Blafnir because, stupid haha interactions that this card actually gets to bring me is so freaking stupid. And, of course, Saint Azamina being a super poly target is pretty much, kind of everything that you dream it to be. So, yeah, I think this looks pretty standard for what you want to have. And our last list here is pure yummy. And I mean, this is even true pure yummy because, you're still playing the Sky Striker package in this deck. You got to remember, when you're looking at yummy developments, as long as you get access to this Camellia, you're kind of going to get access into the into this line, because remember, Camellia drops down the Hornet drones, convert Camellia into Kagari, add back Hornet drones, activate Hornet drones. Congratulations, you're able to synchro into a yummy monster, and you have full combo. I do see we are playing Spectra as a boss monster. If no spells in your graveyard loses 3,000 attack, when it activates a card or effect is chain link 2 or higher, banish 2 spells, negate that effect, and destroy a card your opponent controls. I guess we're just using this as a boss monster, as an option if we need it, which, I mean, I guess cool thing is this is generic. So, I mean, you are also playing extra little Kagaris in this list. So maybe your deck does need access to something a little bit more potentially strong. I don't actually hate the idea of having access to Spectra as a support card to kind of help win you something. So overall, a lot of interesting tech choices kind of present right now. I'm not hating anything I'm seeing here by any stretch of the imagination. Actually, I think this is all kind of refreshing. So please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.